Hello, welcome to Kellogg Public Library's virtual story time. My name is Sherry. The story I'm going to share with you today is Alvin the Pirate by Ulf Löfgren. One day Alvin went to the beach to search for buried treasure. He brought his big shovel with him. If I were a pirate, where would I bury my treasure? Alvin wondered. He searched and searched. Finally, he found a spot that he thought would be perfect for burying stolen treasure. So Alvin began to dig. It was hard work. He dug and dug until suddenly his shovel hit something hard. I bet it's a treasure chest filled with gold, thought Alvin. I bet pirates buried it here. He began to dig faster. Wow! I found a treasure chest, and it didn't even have a map. Just when Alvin heard someone shout, "Captain Alvin! Captain Alvin!" Alvin looked up and saw a whole shipload of pirates coming toward him. "We found your hat and pistol, and the ship's cat, too. Someone hid them in a barrel on the ship." "Over here, Captain, look! Oscar Bluenose is waving your hat and pistol over his head. Come on, let's dig up the treasure and sail off. How about it, Captain Alvin?" "How do you know my name? I don't know yours, and why are you calling me Captain?" Alvin stammered. "Shiver me timbers, you haven't forgotten your old mate Sniffy Sinbad, and you can't have forgotten you're the captain of our ship. The other pirates are a whole new crew. So it's no wonder you don't know them. That's Oscar Bluenose, Hilmer the Foot, Ferocious Ferdinand, Napoleon Washtub, Anton the Terrible, Snook the Chin, Simon Sideburns, Homer the Horrible, and Ghastly Gustav." Now that Captain Alvin knew what was going on, he was ready to take charge. "Dig up that treasure chest," he said to his best captain, in his best captain voice. When Alvin whispered to Sniffy Sinbad, "I can't remember the name of my ship." "Shiver me timbers," cried Snippy. "It's one thing to forget your mate, but to forget your ship? It's the Sea Witch." "Oh yeah, I," Captain Alvin replied. It wasn't long before the pirates had dug the treasure chest out of the ground. They dragged it down to the water and loaded it onto the boat. "Seaward, ho! To the Sea Witch!" cried Captain Alvin. "Aye, aye, Captain." When they were all aboard the ship, Alvin climbed onto the treasure chest. "Long live Alvin, our pirate captain!" the pirates chanted. "Let's set sail and rove the seven seas," cried Captain Alvin. "Aye, aye," the pirates shouted. It was high time they got on their way. The Sea Witch had just set sail when the pirates heard Charlie Cannon shout, "Ship ahoy!" from the crow's nest. "Heaven help us, that's the pirate ship Pale Death, our deadly enemy, and they're coming toward us at full sail." "Everyone to the cannons," Captain Alvin ordered. "We'll smash the Pale Death right into the sea." "Aye, aye, Captain," cried Sniffy Sinbad, "but we're all out of cannonballs and we don't have any bullets for our pistols." "What do you mean we're out of cannonballs and bullets?" asked Captain Alvin. "I've never heard of a pirate ship being out of cannonballs and bullets. What are we going to shoot with? I bet the Pale Death has more than enough cannonballs and bullets." "Aye, you're probably right," said Sniffy Sinbad, "but we have melons and grapefruit and apples and oranges on board. We can use those instead." "I guess that will have to do," said Captain Alvin, "but it seems funny somehow. Melons? Oranges?" But the Sea Witch pirates were lucky. The Pale Death was out of cannonballs and bullets too. In fact, the enemy pirates only had tomatoes to fight with, and tomatoes are quite harmless, as everyone knows. So the battle raged. Melons and apples and oranges and tomatoes flew through the air. Suddenly, Captain Alvin realized he was hungry. "These green apples taste pretty good," he said happily. But Sniffy Sinbad knew they shouldn't let their guard down yet. "Captain Alvin! Captain Alvin!" Sniffy Sinbad shouted. "The pale death is coming closer. They're going to come aboard. What should we do?" "We'll have to draw our swords and sabers," said Captain Alvin. "Oh no, we left our swords and sabers at home," groaned Sniffy Sinbad. "Then what are we going to fight with?" demanded Captain Alvin. "What kind of pirates are you, anyway, leaving your swords and sabers at home?" Well, we have lots of cucumbers and sausages on board. We could fight with those," Sniffy Sinbad suggested. "Then arm yourselves, mates," Captain Alvin ordered. "Look over there. The pirates on the Pale Death have forgotten their swords and sabers too. They're fighting with asparagus and carrots and bananas. Ha ha ha!" Captain Alvin began to laugh. But he shouldn't have laughed so quickly. The Pale Death was ready with a surprise attack. "Help!" cried Sniffy Sinbad and Ghastly Gustav. "They're pouring huge buckets of salad dressing on us. We're going to get all sticky." "Shoot them with whipped cream and raspberry syrup," shouted Ghastly Gustav. "Then they'll be sticky too." Captain Alvin had a better idea though. "Halt!" Captain Alvin shouted to the pirates on the Pale Death. "I want to talk to your captain, Captain Blood Blackbeard." The one-legged, one-eyed Captain Blood Blackbeard stomped onto the Sea Witch. "After all this fighting, we're all pretty hungry," Captain Alvin said. "Instead of battling, let's get together and make a salad for dinner. We've got cucumbers and tomatoes and carrots and asparagus and sausages and thick, creamy salad dressing." That's a good idea. Captain Blood Blackbeard was hungry too. "Then we can have fruit salad for dessert. We've got bananas and oranges and melons and grapefruit and lots of green apples. And we have whipped cream and raspberry syrup," offered Captain Alvin. What a feast! Everyone ate lots of salad with thick, creamy salad dressing. The fruit salad and the big buckets of raspberry syrup were finished to the last drop. Full and happy and tired, all the pirates fell asleep. But the pirates from the Pale Death only pretended to be asleep. They got up quietly, seized the sleeping Captain Alvin, and sneaked silently back to their ship. The next morning, Captain Blood Blackbeard used his wooden leg to poke Captain Alvin awake. "Well, matey, we're not going to make you walk the plank, I promise you that," grinned Captain Blood Blackbeard. "No, you're going to take a little trip off the seesaw." And Captain Blood Blackbeard laughed a great, roaring, horrifying laugh. 3 pirates lined up on the poop deck as Alvin sat down on the seesaw. "See that you all jump together," ordered Captain Bloodbeard and Blood Blackbeard, and those pirates came down on the seesaw so fast and so hard that Alvin flew through the air and out over the ocean in a terrifying flight, dropped both his pirate hat and his fine pirate's pistol, until at last he landed right where he had left his old cap and his shovel. "It's just as well," thought Alvin. "I was tired of being a pirate anyway." And that's the end of that story. Thank you so much for listening. Please hit subscribe and like if you like, and come see us next time.